Hi, welcome back to Cruising Calypso. This week on the channel we're taking a look at another used boat, and this time we're hitting a price point of $200,000 or a little less. Coming up. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Spring is finally starting to show its face around here in New England, and it's about high 60s today, so it won't be long before we take the wrapper off of Calypso 2 and start doing some of the projects, so stay tuned for that coming up. But this week we're going to continue with our series on what you can buy for, and if you recall, we started with the series with what is $1 million buy in a brand new boat, and that basically was about a 42-foot boat. We've looked at a couple of those, and now last week we looked at our first boat in the used market, trying to get the price down. We looked at the Regal 42 Sport Coupe, which comes in at around $300,000. So this week we are looking at a boat that breaks the $200,000 barrier. It's kind of a classic boat. It is the 2005 Searay 390 Sundancer. Now, the 390 Sundancer was made for a number of years in the style that we are looking at this week, and what I like about this boat is it was offered in both gas and diesel, although it's mostly found with twin 8.1 gas Mercruiser engines. It has a hardtop, a permanent hardtop, but you can put isinglass in to enclose the upper cockpit area. It's a beautiful boat. She has essentially one stateroom forward with a second sleeping area in the mid cabin, more or less the mid cabin berth, which is covered by a curtain, and it has a full head with not quite a separate shower, but it does have a shower door that rotates around and does allow you to protect the rest of the head from water. So it's a nice setup. She has a nice large cockpit space, easily can take a group of friends on, but if you find a clean one, these boats can be had for anywhere between $175 to maybe breaking in at $225. You might find a diesel boat. They are rare, but what we're looking at is gasoline, because if you start getting into diesel, that's when the price goes up. You can plan on adding easily $50,000 to the price of pretty much any used boat that was offered in both gas and diesel if you go for the diesel model. So stay tuned and see what you think. So let's get into it. As I said, we're looking at the Searay 390 Sundancer. It's an express style boat. And remember, if you like this content, make sure you click the subscribe button, smash that thumbs up button if you like it, and share the video with your friends. We are trying to grow the channel, and it really helps us out a lot. The Searay 390 is 41 feet overall when you include her swim platform. She has a beam of 13 feet 2 and draws about 3 feet. Her displacement is 20,000 pounds, and she carries 275 gallons of fuel. The 390 can be powered by either Mercruiser 8.1 gas V-drives or sterndrives. With the sterndrive arrangement, the availability of the joystick is available. Additionally, there's also a Cummins diesel package, but that option is less common on this boat. So the gas boat is the boat you're typically going to find. A number of years ago, Boating Magazine did a test review, and I borrowed the numbers from them, and you can see the efficiency of this boat. While she tops out at 30 knots, her best cruising is between 20 and 25 knots. At that speed, you can see she's burning around 31 to 41 gallons an hour, getting approximately 0.6 miles per gallon. This is where the difference in inboard gas comes in, is that they do burn a lot more gas, especially in this size range. The smaller boats are more efficient, but this boat does burn her gas, and you just have to be aware of that when getting a larger gas boat like this. Turning to the layout below, the boat is broken up into 3 areas. All the way forward is a large master stateroom with access to the split head. On the starboard side is a shower, and the port side is a commode and sink. Middle of the boat there is a galley, and followed by a settee and table. And then midships there is the traditional Searay mid cabin, which on the 39 is good size, but is separated by a curtain rather than a hard partition. So let's go aboard. Starting with where you enter from the swim platform, there is a center transom door leading into the cockpit. On the starboard side there is a hot and cold shower, and the port side there is a switch to turn the lights as you enter. This cockpit is quite large and has room for quite a few number of guests. As you can see, there are cutouts on both sides so you can step up onto the counter and enter and exit the boat. There's also a wet bar to port with a sink and a refrigerator and a locker below. Access to the engine space is through a cockpit hatch, which you can see here raising up on a electric hydraulic ram. It tips back pretty far and gives you pretty good access to the engine space, which houses, in this case, the 8.1 Mercruisers connected to Bravo 3 stern drives. To starboard, you can see the Kohler generator in its sound shield because this boat was so equipped. This was an option on the boat, but you will find most of them with this. There's decent space down below, forward of the engines, and there's a ladder to get down there to access all the peripheral equipment. As you can see here, the circuit board, engine fire suppression system, fuel tank, the aforementioned generator, then of course the big 8.1s. This boat happens to have a pristine engine space, very clean and very neat. Something you want to look for in a used boat. And then on the port side, you can see her 4 batteries, 2 for each engine to start and for the house setup as well. Moving to the helm, the boat has a single helmsman seat. Next to it is a companion seat with space for 2. This particular example of a Searay 390 has 2 flat screens. One looks set up for navigation and one has instruments on it. The boat also has traditional gauges, the SmartCraft gauges provided by Searay and Mercruiser. This particular boat is equipped with Mercruiser's digital throttle and shift. She also has the joystick control, which makes maneuvering close to the dock quite easy. Searay is known for their beautiful steering wheels, and in this case it's no exception. A beautiful walnut example. This boat also has a VHF and a stereo control. Moving below now, we can see the elegant interior that is trimmed in beautiful gloss wood. You can see the galley with the refrigerator and the 2-burner electric stove. Sink with a modern faucet. This sink also has a small second sink right next to it. You can see in the picture a cover covering that up. There's good light below from the 3 port side windows that are in on both sides. Looking into the head here, as mentioned earlier, this is just the commode and the sink. On the port side, on the starboard side, is the shower. Forward, the master stateroom with a walk-around berth. She has hanging lockers both to port and starboard. Again, lots of light both from the overhead hatch and from the port lights. In this case, they are covered by curtain. but there is lots of light down below in these boats. And here's the shower compartment in there. And now as we look aft, back through the salon, on the starboard side we can see that settee with a place for a table, the nice hardwood floor, and we're looking into that midship cabin, which, as you can see, there was a curtain on the starboard side which pulls across. Again, the 3 port lights in the hull. These Searays really are quite elegant, and I know I'm somewhat biased being the owner of a Searay, but I have to say, Searay did a beautiful job on these boats. You can see this space is either a day cabin with settees and a television, or those settees pull out into a double berth. Quite commodious, and there is headroom at the forward end of this space, so with the curtain closed you can stand up and change clothing. There's a small port light here also to let in daylight. Then of course the stairway down from the cockpit. The salon of the 390 is equipped with a television set that is stored in the overhead and then lowers down automatically with the use of a remote. Clever solution for a tight space. The Searay 390 Sundancer is an excellent alternative to some of the boats on the brand new market. As you can see, she has a lot of space, she has a lot of style, and priced at $200,000 makes her a good value compared to the close to $1 million or $1 million price we're seeing in the brand new market. So I think we're going to wrap this virtual walkthrough of the Searay 390 Sundancer up here. And again, if you like the button, smash that thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next week, where we'll bring to you a modest price long distance cruiser. So stay tuned for that.